Welcome to the Huddle Sports Network, where we're breaking boundaries and redefining podcasting. Broadcasting live on 6 different platforms, we're bringing you the latest in sports like never before. Imagine tuning in to real-time discussions, expert analyses, and fan interactions all at your fingertips. Each platform offers a unique experience, whether you're on YouTube, Facebook, or Twitch. We're not just sharing stories, we're creating a community of passionate sports enthusiasts. Join us as we dive deep into the evolution of podcasting, where every episode is a chance to engage, debate, and celebrate the world of sports. This is where your voice matters and the game never stops. Welcome to the Huddle Sports Network, where we're breaking boundaries and redefining podcasting. Broadcasting live on 6 different platforms, we're bringing you the latest in sports like never before, where sports passion meets podcasting brilliance. I'm Mike, the Bear fan, and alongside Bill, the Packer fan, and our buddy Ken Catalone, we're bringing you an incredible lineup of 38 diverse podcasters. Each one brings their unique flavor to the table, covering everything from game analysis to behind-the-scenes stories. Imagine diving deep into the minds of experts who live and breathe football, sharing insights that you won't find anywhere else.
Show up here locally in the community. Make sure y'all go check out Meat Cat Body by Jeremy.
Good afternoon. It is Lions Talk with Smoke and Jeremy B. We already got Paul Jones in the house. How's everybody doing today? We got Davey coming in. Good afternoon, one bride. Well, the Professional Football Writers of America Good Guy Award was awarded to Amik Robertson. The reason why is he has not turned down a single interview from any reporter all year. Huddle Top fan Yoli. Good afternoon. I'm still getting by. And he also makes time for them to be available during the week, provides valuable insight after games, win or loss, and has some of the most memorable quotes this year, and that's according to AP writer Colton Pouncey. The Lions have ruled out Pat O'Connor and Kevin Zietler for this game. Rakestraw is the one questionable. We will see if he gets to practice today. Campbell did confirm that the starter will be Christian Mahogany, and the backup to both guard positions will be Coyote Awazika. What's up, Broski Bear? Hey, that was a great analogy about the two different types of AR-15s that you put in there about Anthony Richardson. Kudos to you. I loved it. So, former Lions cornerback Stephen Gilmore has signed with the UFL's champion Birmingham Stallions. And here's what's trending through the Lions locker room, and this is not from Max Crosby and the Raiders, but Amik Robertson, Pat O'Connor, former Raiders, have been talking with Max Crosby, hyping up Dan Campbell and how great it is to play for him and how much better the atmosphere is in Detroit. So they are trying to petition him to ask for the trade to Detroit. I'm not saying it's going to happen, but we got players here that was his former teammates telling him how good it is. Yeah, I know. I couldn't believe he didn't follow that up, Broski. That was an amazing comment about the Bears special and the Daniels defense, AR-15. Oh my god! Because the barrel barrel rifling is better on the Daniels defense, which makes for more accuracy. And it's also an inch longer barrel, which also adds to more accuracy. The shorter the barrel, the less direction the bullet has to carry in a straight line. For those that don't know guns. But that being said, I liked my analogy that I said the difference between AR-15 and Caleb Williams' completion percentage is like trying to compare Caleb Williams' completion percentage to golf. I thought that was a perfect analogy. My DD-47 is an 18-inch barrel with a 1-to-7 twist. Yes, you know exactly what I'm talking about because the Bears one has either a 17 or a 17.5-inch barrel, if I remember right. Either an inch shorter or a half inch shorter. I can't remember. And I think theirs is a 1-to-6. Yeah. So the barreling's wider, or the rifling's wider, which also hinders the tumbling effects of the bullet because it doesn't catch that speed. But other than that, there isn't a lot out there. It looks like Bobby Wagner is questionable now. He's been upgraded. It's whether or not he practices today and does the walkthrough on Saturday. So we're still awaiting that situation to hear him ruled out, but he hasn't practiced all week yet. Christian Gonzalez is dealing with a hip injury and is now questionable for Washington. That happened during the practice yesterday. Who they did have back at full practice was Colson Yankoff, the tight end, Frankie Luvo. That's good for him. Luvu, I mean. Marshawn Latimer, Dominique Hampton, safety. John Bates, full practice. Ben Sanat was limited. Zane Gonzalez, who knows? Why did they say Christian? His name is Zane. I don't get it. So they might be without their kicker. He's dealing with a hip injury, is what I'm gathering. Because Christian Gonzalez plays for the Patriots, I thought. Because he was drafted in the same draft as Emmanuel Forbes. So maybe a little conflicting report there out of Washington. I'm just trying to keep everybody up on everything because that's what I do. I'm waiting for the afternoon one for tonight's show to give you the final report as far as for actual practice are. Okay. Thank you very much for clarifying, but I thought they were shorter. That's what I was getting at. I thought that, you know, I think the original ones were all 18-inch barrels, the ones that they introduced back at right. But the original ones I believe were all 18-inch barrels back in Vietnam when they were made by Colt. And actually a division of Colt rifles, which was called Armalite, which is the reason why it was called an AR-15 to begin with. It had to do with the Armalite Weapons Company, and it was the M15, but they eliminated the M. And the difference between the M15 and the M16 is the M15 only had a 3-shot burst, not a full automatic. Saturday, well, yeah, this might be a travel day for them. You're right about Washington, Huck, Michael Huck, but they're doing something today because they said it depends on a report from today. That's all I know. They might be traveling tonight and then just resting overnight at the hotel. Who knows? I don't I don't deal with them. They did practice outside in the cold all week. And, at first it looked like a spring picture because all I saw was like the grass, like just before it turns green or just after it turns then I noticed that there was piles of snow in the background. So they practice outside all week, which I find that weird. Kevin, welcome in from Germany. Good day to you, sir. But Christian Mahogany will be starting in the place of Kevin Zietler. That's something I do know. And what's weird is nobody realized when Kevin Zietler came back in the game last week because Mahogany only played snaps. Because everybody was freaking out to begin with. And I was like, he's out there. No, that's Mahogany. I was like, no, Mahogany went back off after that drive. But good news is Levi's fine and healthy and been a full participant all week. Because I know that he had some tape. He was taped up and played 74% of the snaps after he got taped up during the game last week. So he's fine and ready to rock for in week 18, I should say. But we don't have a big injury list this week. They have a lot of guys that's been on and off the injury list all week, and that's something to pay attention to because the final one comes out at 4 o'clock tomorrow, 4 hours before game time. I just know it hinged on something today, Michael, is what the report said about Bobby Wagner. So there's a chance he might play. I know. I think he re-aggravated it in the first week in the regular practices is what happened because they had one day. I'm a Lions fan that lives in the heart of Commander's territory. It's been a fun week being War Week. I bet it has been. I would love to live in another town again when the Lions are going to play somebody or the other team is heading there because I'd be touting my Lion shit and talking shit. That's what I do. Oh, and I did talk a little shit about our Lions today. Yeah, I think he's the one that's stepping in for Zietler next year. As a matter of fact, I think what's going to happen is you'll see Graham down to 14 now, Kevin. We went from 22 to 14. And most of those guys are out for the year. They won't come back. Carlton Davis won't come back. Hutch can and Barnes can, and that's about it. And that really depends on what they do this weekend. I told them where I'll be watching the game the next day, and I'll attend their wake. I love it. That's funny. Uh, uh, but at the same time, the tail of the tape is it looks like our offense is way better than their defense. It looks like they're going to struggle. God knows I am. They can activate them anytime between now and then, but I think they're waiting because they can't do it before 4 p.m. today. If they do it before 4 p.m. today, that would make this count as 1 week because they say 21-day activations, but it's based off of the weeks, and we're still in the divisional round week. So I think it's actually going to happen after 4 p.m. today. That way, he can't be considered active for this week's roster. If that makes sense, what I'm saying. Um, I'd have to look at the Commanders' schedule, but they had 12 wins. It's impressive considering they were a last place team to go from last to first. Oh, for the Commanders, I think that was an amazing jump. But they're playing last place rosters, which means they had to play the Bears. They had to play. I just try to give realistic expectations, and there's a chance we may not even see them get active. Oof, man, and Rams fans are getting cocky about the Eagles fans right now too. Ooh, say what you want, the defense is what won their games. And I know they played some bad teams all season. I know they've only beaten a couple of good teams. They beat Green Bay twice, kind of like we did. Just saying, got by in one and spanked them in the other. We spanked them first and then got by because, well, let's face it. When you look at Commanders played a last place schedule. Yes, it's a great turnaround. Next season, tougher opponents, including Lions. 100%. They're going to go from a last place schedule to a second place schedule. The only first place team that avoided playing the Lions this year, weather forecast in Philly, cold and snow. Let's see. Let me get some pictures. That's right. It tells me times and everything else. There. All right. So Sunday's games is the 3 o'clock game is Chiefs at or Texans at Chiefs. Sorry, 3 o'clock is the Philly one. The day game on Saturday is the 4:30 game, Texans at Chiefs, and then it's 8 p.m. Washington. I don't like how they split it up. We're expecting 1 to 3 inches on Sunday. Philly is 3 hours north of me. Yeah, I think it's the same thing. Remember when the NFC used to play on one day and the AFC used to play on the other day, and it made it a lot easier. And the best matchup was usually whatever the one seed is versus the lowest seed, and they'd get the prime time each time. For some reason, they kind of screwed it up this year and did it all bass backwards. I don't like it. Ooh, 313 Doug Boss says 44-0 Lions. Woo, that's a hot take. Sunday, 34 degrees, low of 18, and snow. Joey Uso is in the building. Our Super Eagle fan that comes in every day and talks to us. Yeah. I think we win by 7 to 10 points. That's what I actually think, and I'm going to stick to that. I think it's going to be like a 34-24 win. I damn near got it right saying the score points for the Lions. I didn't expect the Vikings to come out and lay a goose egg. LOL, I'm gonna clip that. Go right ahead, sir. I love it when people clip my stuff. Do I think he'll get offered 20 million? No, but here's where they came up with that number, and I'm gonna why the rumor flew out that he wants somewhere around 20 million. When Washington was flying to Detroit to give him a contract that basically he had, Stafford's record in cold and snow, 1-9. 1-9. Who's the one team he beat? Chicago. Who's the team he never beat in this cold and snow? The Packers. Didn't beat Denver in cold and snow either. Yeah. I asked Stafford about the last time he was in Philly with snow. Didn't you guys do a whiteout jersey that year and it fucked with them because it was snowing? Joey, I'm trying to remember because I could have swore it was a whiteout and they had to wear a weird alternate we had to wear the alternate uniform. Yes, Viking, no, the game after hangover is real. They scored the same amount of points even though they got a touchdown. What's up, PC? It's good to see you, brother. That's what you guys should do is have a whiteout jersey and make them wear an away jersey. Yeah, my Miami Dolphins bad record in under 40 degrees, 1-11, close, 1-9. That's what I remember. There could be some more. No, because every playoff game we ever had was in a dome, so that's not it. Okay, any Vikings fans show up this week? One, one, and I gave him credit for showing up. He took his lumps and then he bowed out and ain't been back since Monday or Tuesday. I mean, prediction for tomorrow: 34-24. Lions win. I think it's a 10-point win. Yeah, I know they're talking. Joey, I hear you. If I had money, I'd be betting on my Lions. There's always a chance for a loss, Richard Head. I'm not as nervous as some think. They have the 30th rushing defense. They can't stop a run. Once Rashad White went out of that game, Bucky Irvin took over. They're averaging 140 yards per game against them. I'm not nervous at all. No. I count on AG and this staff to have everybody ready. Because guess what? They had their week off. They did their interviews. If they know who they're going to get their second interview with, it isn't going to happen until after the Super Bowl because there's no time for it except the Pro Bowl week where there's no practice going on. Yes, Michael Huck, I remember that too. I really don't have any nerves this one. I think the biggest nerves comes out of who wins in Philly for next week. I think that's the more nervous. Him, my almanac, sports almanac, 31-27 Lions. Doc Brown knows his shit. I love it. Great. No, Bobby Wagner is. Did they just announce today he's out? Because he was announced as questionable last night. Yeah, the Commanders haven't faced an offense like the Lions. Um, Saquon Barkley's great, but when you add in the yards of David Montgomery and Gibbs combined, you're talking about with receiving and rushing, they're over 3,000 yards this season. Think about that, guys. Our running backs have almost 3,000 yards of total scrimmage yards, rushing and receiving combined. That's why I said 34. I think it's right around 34. It could be up. It really depends on the flow of the game. Because if they're running the ball a lot and eating the clock, Broski Bear, they're not going to get the chance to score 40. Do you see what I'm getting at there? It's playoff nerves of the past. They get us all. It's PTSOL. The Lions playoff games over our history. Think about it. I said this earlier and I meant it. The Lions were rebuilding for 61 years or 60 years exactly. We rebuilt for 60 years to become a good playoff team. Yep, I know. We'll just get to next week, Joey. Joey, who are your picks this weekend? Texans, Chiefs, Bills, Ravens, Commanders, Lions, and of course, I know you're taking Eagles. You know what's funny is we only had one rushing QB that did anything against us this year, majorly. You know, and that was Josh Allen. And Jaden Daniels is not Josh Allen, nowhere close. So I'm not as scared. It's Josh Allen and Lamar Jackson that are the threats that would probably do something. We actually have fared very well. Hell of a rebuild. Yeah, exactly. We had to put up with 59 of it, or wait, no, 56 of it being William Clay Ford. Good God. Hey guys, I like that enthusiasm, broski buddy. That's Moonscar Blade in the chat. Lions, Eagles, Chiefs, and Bills. I think the Ravens can actually win that game, but I think the Bills will pull it out. I've said that it's going to be a close game either way. I think it's going to come down to the kickers. And Justin Tucker hasn't been the same kicker. This year, he's kind of been off. He's like 16th in accuracy this year. And he's actually in the bottom 10. Yes. Yes, they are. Yes, they are, Richard Head. Oh, I still remember 5-0 in 1970 when I was a kid. That's the year I was born, Kevin. That's the year I was born. So I don't remember it. 5-0 loss to the Cowboys in 1970. Oh, God. I'm taking the Lions, and here's a hot take. Go ahead. Let's hear this hot take, Joey Uso. Uso, come on, Poison. Bills, Lions, Super Bowl. I got it. Bills or Chiefs, Lions, Super Bowl, 100%. Until Lamar gets there, I can't put them in the Super Bowl. I just haven't seen it out of Lamar, and we haven't seen it out of Josh yet. But I think it could be. Ooh, Texans beat the Chiefs this weekend, plus 375 money line. That's a hit. It's a 37.5 to 1. So for every dollar, you can get 37.50. I have the Chiefs losing. They haven't played their starters in weeks. They only sat 7 starters. I'm not going to say they haven't played their starters in week. I went and looked at who they sat. They only sat 7 starters in that game. Lions got jobbed in that game. My uncle talked about it most of his life. Rest in peace. Amen. May he rest in heaven. All right. Lifelong Lions fan, didn't live to see this day. Lions versus Browns, Ravens in the Super Bowl. Oh, that's funny. I think when the championship game, Aiden Hutchinson will be back, and he's going to be fucking pissed off, injured all year long. Yeah, that's what everybody's not looking at. I just remember. Oh, that's a good Good. That's a good question there. You're going to have to ask him that on Monday, Broski. Maybe Ken the Bear owns a Bears Creek Arsenal. That's why he didn't comment. You know what's funny is ever since we put the beat down on the Bears, which was what, the week after the Bills, we haven't came out fast since. That's 2 weeks in a row where we just kind of came out a little bit and went a little bit at a time. And we poured it on the second half. I think that's by design. I think that's to get teams to sleep. Texans are getting 8.5. Wow. I can't pick against the Chiefs going to the Super Bowl. The team and the staff have been there too much, and I've seen that this type of team that knows when to dig down and get it done. Yeah, the Lake Erie Super Bowl, Lions versus Bills. It's a fact. It would be cool. That would be the Super Bowl of the ages. And would this be like the closest Super Bowl venue they put one in recently to Detroit and Buffalo at the same time? I think it would attract a lot of their fans. Like I have been saying, similar to the great NBA teams of the 80s and late 80s and 90s, Pistons, Lakers, Celtics, Bulls. Yep, I, good analogy. But other than that, there isn't a lot of news out there other than the fact that our Lions, two that were former Raiders, are the ones lobbying for Max to ask for a trade to Detroit. And nowhere does it say that Max wants to come to Detroit, that he's asked for a trade or anything else, but Amik Robertson and Pat O'Connor are hyping up this roster and Dan Campbell. Bill T, well, I would agree with that if that same defensive line didn't play the year before and was one of the best defensive lines in football that year after they got Montez Sweat. It's coaching. I think it's offensive line coaching, and I also think it's front office. And it starts at the top. They need a new owner, a new president, new GM. Amen, Moonscar Blade. Oh, what the Chiefs have beat one team by double digits, maybe two all season. Yeah. Oh, I remember Broski coming in hot at the beginning of the season too. But at the same time, I, I can't believe how right I called this division for in the season. Oh, it'll be rough, but yeah, I'll at least have it on the radio if nothing else, Kevin. I just I'm a football fan. I tried not to watch it for years because of personal issues that I don't want to get into right now. Once we got to the NFC Championship game and we were up by 17 points, I did. Yes, I did, Bill T. Because one of the reasons why he hated being at the Titans anymore was them trading AJ Brown and picking Traylon Burks. He hated that move because you're gambling on a pro comp of the player you're trading away. When you are consistently winning games by one score, there is nefarious NFL shit going on. Yes, I mean, let's not get it twisted. The Lions won five one-score games all year. Five. We lost two one-score games all year. So that negates it to three, right? 5-2, 3 games difference. There are two Don Burrs in the chat, and again, Don Burr is lying. I never blocked anyone on YouTube. Don is day drinking again and lying. Right. He asked. He wants to try to get AJ Brown to New England. Yes. That's that's his exact words, Joey. He would love to get AJ Brown to New England, not that he's going to. And I think you guys just re-signed him not this year, last season, right? Didn't you guys re-sign him last year? Right. Absolutely. That's what I was just getting at, Bill. I once said back in '95 to a Steelers fan, if the Super Bowl would have been played in Detroit, the Bills would have beat the Lions in the Super Bowl. God, I hope I was wrong. Then we would win a Super Bowl. And okay, yep, same thing. Oh yeah, we all thought it would have been sooner when we had Barry. Okay, I will send you the link about 8:30, quarter to 9 there, PC. I appreciate PC Payload. He's fun to talk to when we do the podcast. And Joey Uso, if you're available tonight, let me know. I'll send you the link as well. That way you can talk to your Eagles. I'm still trying to find a Rams fan that's willing to come live and talk their shit. Haven't found one all season. They don't want to come on a Lions podcast. Matt Stafford's broad ass got beat twice in less than 6 months. Oh, did I say that out loud? You're invited. You can come on the fan cave chat. I'll send you the invite. You know enough football to be able to talk Lions if you wanted to. And you know our opponent. Because that's what this is to dive into the opposing team as well. Please, any Rams fan, please. Oh, so gotcha. Thank you. No, but she's like OnlyFans. She makes people pay for her appearances on podcasts. Ooh. I know you see what I did there. At the same time, I still think the trade's a wash. They won the first year, and we've won since. I feel like it's a wash. And I'm sorry, heads up play allows you to talk a little trash. Wait, you gotta know something about football? Shit, my expertise is badminton. Hey, as long as it's women's badminton, we're talking about those shorts they wear in college, I'm good. Oh, did I say that out loud? I don't give two shits who the next coach of the Cowboys is. But if I had to guess, Jerry might be able to throw enough money to attract Dion. And if that happens, they're going to be making one hell of a trade. That's all I got to tell you. JB, how's your badminton game? Considering I have bad shoulders, bad knees, and bad hips, probably awful. I have a feeling Jared Goff going to get MVP, and I think if the Eagles lose this weekend, Saquon ain't getting it. Well, it's based off of the regular season, and according to the votes that I saw at the end of the season, it's between Lamar and Josh. And if it's between Lamar and Josh, the better record is Josh. The better stats is Lamar. So to me, it's a toss toss-up. This is the first time we can. Yes, Moonscar. I like Detroit to use Gibbs out of the backfield in a check down roll. I agree. They do that a lot. But in all actuality, if you've watched, I don't think we'll be using Monty as much in the receiving game because he's just coming off of that injury. Yeah, I think it is going to be Lamar. I think he's going to get back-to-back MVPs. Losing to Josh Allen basically cost Goff the MVP despite all the records he's got. And he broke quite a few records this year. Say what you want. He got the nickname put on his Wikipedia of Mr. Perfect from the 18 for 18 game. Yeah, that surprises me too. I don't think they should be. Well, we've already paid ARSB, we already paid Goff, we already played Peninsula, and we already played Aleem Neal, and we still got 70 million with 20 to roll over. So we could be sitting close to 90 million in cap space, which means re-upping the guys we have to isn't a problem. MVP is a popularity contest. Goff's incredible consistency should be worth something. 100%. Yes, 100% Joey Uso. As a matter of fact, he had one of the best statistical years for any QB in the game. Um, what was that I had? Do I still got the graphic in here? No, I don't. Back to back. No, Lamar. No, jeez. It was an amazing stat that I saw. Oh yeah, 4,500 passing yards and a 72 completion rate in a season. It's the first player to do that in NFL history. Rakestraw played 2 games at the beginning of the year and then tweaked his hamstring. And then he's been in and out of the lineup all year. He's questionable this week. He may get to play. Um, do I expect much out of him? No. Do I want to expect a lot out of him? Yeah. Oh. Oh. If he was on Philly's roster, I'd be way more scared of us not being able to get there. Joey Uso, if you guys had Goff, 100%. But we all seen the failures of Justin Herbert. Bill Dorr to the rescue. God help us. ABB. Good afternoon. Just finished having lunch with the future misses. Let's go Lions, 100% Fred. Nick Sirianni will be fired if they lose to the Rams. Oh, I don't know if he'll actually be fired. I think they'll go through the coordinator role again. There's a good chance it's Kellen Moore. The more I think about it, Kellen Moore will probably be the head coach of the Cowboys. He never should have been let go to begin with. It's all 100% of a rumor. If you read his contract, Bill won't leave UNC. And I'll tell you why. He has to be there 2 years so his son can take over as head coach. He has it set up so his son is the successor. I also think completion percentage, along with his very big 8.6 yards per catch, makes it more impressive. But wonder what his average completed in air yards. I will look that up for you tonight and have it on the NFL on the Lions fan cave chat. Last week, because it was the bye week, we did our offensive and defensive MVPs. I said three for each. And then, yep, his son. He has that contract set up so his son takes over. Fred DeWitt, will someone please show Bill door to door? The good news is, at least he doesn't do this. There she goes. Smoking Dad. I'm cue. You tap in and I just do the sounder. Great. Good afternoon, Dad. Oh, what a week. It's almost over. The game night. It's coming. Hasn't signed the contract yet. Yeah, because you know what I think about what isn't it crazy how weird this offseason is compared to last season? They're not in the playoffs. Jerry's making the coaching moves and all that stuff all of a sudden. I think they finally got his Alzheimer's meds right. The door would just bounce off Vildor's helmet. Oh god, that's funny. Oh, how good is it that we can say that we did this twice? Twice, guys. Everybody said we wouldn't win it again for 30 years last year. Remember that? Oh, you did it this year. Do it again next year. I know PC. I hate autocorrect too. It does it all the time. His man, he just turned 201 years old. He was what, 82? Come on now, or 92? I don't know. I just know we beat the shit out of him on his birthday and made him cry. That was the best birthday spanking I've ever seen given. 49 points worth. I think they can make room. We all know the cap is fluid. Every year the Saints come in. Let's see, it started the year that Drew Brees retired. They went immediately to what was it, 108 million over the cap, and then the next year they were 80 million. Then the next year they were 70 million. Then the next year, and now this year they're 58 million, projected to be 58 million over the cap next year. Every year they just kick the can down the road enough to clear enough to make their signings and draft picks, just enough to be a middling level team. They can't afford to take more dead cap and hits to lower it, to lower everything and then raise their dead cap so high they can't even sign a team. Yeah, they still have 28.8 available next year, plus whatever they have left this year to roll over, Joey Uso. Just like right now, Lions have $24.6 million they can roll over to next season to go with their, what is it? How much will go to Micah Parsons? That will be uh the 5th-year option. Didn't they pick that up? No, it's only his 4th year. Not much. This is his 4th year coming up, if I remember right. I know. And then went to shit in the playoffs, and we've hated him ever since. Actually, they said the cap is going up by almost 30 million again, Joey Uso, because of the Netflix contract. Absolutely, PC. That is a quote of the day. Makes you really appreciate homes with all these irresponsible GMs out there. 100. What's the good words, guys? I have a prediction for the Commanders. Dang. Ugh. Remember what we heard all the way up to the Week 18 game? We're going to beat the snot out of you. They came at us like this. They ended up like that. I think so too. I think they're gonna go after a big name. I don't I think they may be the guys that trade for Tariq Hill. Don't kill me on that, but I think Tariq Hill, if he goes to Dallas and they draft O-line, I think they'll be fine. I think they still need to draft another tackle because their tackles get hurt too much. They need one more guard. God, I should have put that in here. Oh, he heard you. He said the same thing. He predicted that Sirianni will be fired if they lose to the Rams. They lose to the Rams, it's going to be a hell of a game. Joey Usu, here's what I think. Washington will have trouble stopping the pass rush. I could see 5 sacks this game. Oh, God. I don't even want to think that high. Craig Reynolds or Vildor, who do we have nightmares on from the NFC Championship game? For me, it's Josh Reynolds that I had. Oh, yeah, I've been hearing it all week too, Harpazo. I don't care. I've had him come in here a couple of times. I've had a couple Rams fans come in here and say the Commanders are going to beat us. PC. As long as they don't eject Brian Branch for breathing on a wide receiver, we should win, no problem. All right. Well, it is that time of the day where I have to give homage to my sponsor, which is Branded Service at the corner of South Grand Traverse and West Atherton Road, 602 West Atherton Road. In Flint, where the water's shit, but the tires are good. Stop in and check us out. Used tires starting at $45 and up. You, uh, depending on size and condition, new tires are delivered within 1 to 2 business days. Call 810-233-8230 to get your quote from George or Red. Mention this ad if you want a set of new tires. You will get $25 off your set. If you want a set of used tires, you'll get $10 off your set. Tell them Smoking Jeremy B sent you. Oh, yeah. Yeah, no nightmares. Those nightmares got the boot. Did you guys see this Wednesday? Guess who came back on the show? It was great. We had Kitty Can. Well, the official is the ref of the Eagles game that ejected CJGJ. Woo! Yeah, I know. But I'll give you 200 for the van. It ain't mine to sell. You know what's funny is there's Rams guys that say that Goff choked away that game a lot. And yes, he threw a pick. And yes, they lost 10-3. But go back and look at the dimes he threw that were dropped to receivers and a tight end. There was 3 by receivers, 2 by Brandon Cooks, 1 by Josh Reynolds, and 1 by Everett. Yeah, the ejection did come from New York. I know. Pardon me. Brad Allen is not repping another game the entire playoffs. His last game was the wild card round because him, Sean Hockley, and who was the other one? Chief Blakeman. They had the lowest correct calls of the crews that are left. The 4 that are left, it'll be 2 of those that go on to the next one. Bill, why do you keep coming for Philly like we live over here? I know you've actually been giving the Lions some hype, but I want to thank each and every one of you in the chat. I think I am going to do a pregame tomorrow. I might do a special show. If not, I'll at least be a guest on one of the other ones. Yeah, Michael, don't forget the running back not playing limiting the RPO for Goff that game. Yes. It was a call in from New York. He just told you guys that. But try every day to be a better person than you were the day before. That's the only way to make the world a better place. Tune in tonight at 9 p.m. where I have my friends and a few other fans and a couple guys that know some football. Talk football tonight at 9 p.m. on the Lions Fan Cave chat. And we are